Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews unboxing video, and in today's video we're going to be checking out a couple of cool new things for Warhammer Underworlds. We've got a brand new warband in Zondara's Gravebreakers, and we also have a new Rivals deck, the Rimelocked Relics. So really looking forward to opening these up and checking out the cards and the models. These are of course for the latest version of Warhammer Underworlds, Deathgorge. So yeah, I think we're going to take a look at the warband first, and then we'll crack open the Rivals deck. So if we just pop that to one side for now, I'll bring this forward. So have a quick look at the box. So a bit of a Romeo and Juliet theme going on with this undead warband, if you've read any of the lore behind them on Warhammer Community. But it's a 5-man unit. I think these guys aren't, you know, they're there basically to support the two main characters there, the sort of the necromancer and the now feral vampire. That's what I mean by the old Romeo and Juliet there. Here we go. Zondara and her ghastly grave robbers scour the deepest tombs within Deathgorge in search for lost magic, destroying all who stand in their way. Very cool. So let's get this box open and check out the contents. Okay, so we've opened up the box, and the first thing we've got are the assembly instructions. So let's just have a quick look through these. Like with all warbands for Underworld, they're all push-fit models, so no glue required. Should be very straightforward to go together. And looking at this, yeah, I mean, a couple of them are only in a couple of pieces, so it's nice and easy. And then you've got the completed warband on the back. So we'll pop that to one side, and we'll take a look at the sprues. So there's 2 sprues here. Just move that to one side. Let's check this one out first. Again, like all the other Underworld warbands, you get some really nice sculpted bases. Oh, there's a really nice base there. I think we've got sort of feral vampire on there, crawling down a pillar. A couple of the other ghastly zombies. It's very cool. We'll spin that over. It's on a very bone-coloured sprue, this one. That's the cool thing with Underworlds. You try and put them all on different coloured sprues, so you could literally build these and use them in games without painting them. And they still look quite unique compared to your opponents, as long as you're using a different warband, of course. However, I am hoping to paint these quite soon. It's got the back of the necromancer there. A few more bases. Spin that over. So, really nice detailed minis. Really like the necromancer model. That's really cool. Hopefully at the end of this video, I'll be able to show you these assembled and possibly painted as well. So you can get some inspiration for your own. The last thing in the box is, of course, your Rivals deck. Let's get to focus. So it opens with a bit of lore. Zondara, I think that's how you pronounce the name. It was once a wizard gifted in the magic of Ger, but then she lost the love of her life, Fairlane, to a terrible curse. So that's what I mean by the old Romeo and Juliet thing you're going on with this warband. So I'm just going to take a slight pause, and we'll crack open these deck of cards. Okay, so we've got the cards open. So we've got the lore card there, and we first got the character cards. So Zondara herself is a level 2 wizard. She's got already straight off the bat a 2 damage spell, 2 hex range. So when her love of her life gets some upgrades other than illusions, she inspires. She's got a cool spell reaction there. Let's flip that over for inspired self. That's pretty cool. She still has that spell reaction. Got this tragedy special rule, which we'll see in a moment when we check out. Lost Fairlane, her love of her life. So in the power step, in the place of playing a power card, you can discard an objective card that names 1 or more friendly fighters that are out of action and draw an objective card. That's really cool. So if you lose some of your guys, you'll be able to trade off some objective cards. So again, Fairlane inspires if Zondara gets 2 or more upgrades other than illusions, which is pretty cool. So he's got Grievous on his attacks, dealing 2 damage when he inspires. That goes up to 3. He's very quick as well, movement 5, with 4 wounds. So he's very cool. pick. He's one of our undead zombies here. So unearth. Search your power deck for Zondara's Gravebreakers upgrade. Ah, reveal that card and add it to your hand. It looks like upgrades might be a bit easier to get for these guys. And if he's given a raise counter, then he inspires. So he's doing 2 damage of his pick for a zombie. That's really good. Yeah, he's cool. Gets a shield as well when he inspires for defense. So I quite like him. And this ability to dig out upgrades, I really like that as well. Crack Tome. Exhume. If your leader is surviving, place up to 1 friendly minion that is out of action in another hex adjacent to his fire. And give that fire a raise counter, which, for this guy, he gets to inspire. So that's really cool. So he's bringing some of your zombies back. Excellent stuff. Not quite as good in combat, but that's a really cool special ability. And when he inspires, he doesn't really buff up that much. No, just gets an extra dice on his attacks. But I like the fact he can raise his undead friends. And then we've got Toil. So he's got the Gravebreak ability. Oh, so he gets oh, I see. Include a super action, place an objective token for his fighter's hex to adjacent hex, then you may unearth or exhume. So you can do both. This fighter is given a raise counter. So when he's raised back from the dead again, he gets to inspire. Apologies, my camera keeps losing focus, so apologise for that. He's pretty good. I expected those zombies to be quite throwaway, but no, they're pretty cool. We've got some objective cards here. So again, you're looking at adding those upgrades. Of course, you have to power step if you fill in as 2 or more upgrades. Desperate Inspiration. Yeah, that's not too difficult to do. Cast a second substance spell in the same phase. Dreamer's Respite. So that's your bringing back from the dead or unearthing. That's cool. So these objectives seem quite, I'm not going to say easy, but all right to score. Because I know some warbands I've been looking at recently, as I've been getting back into Underworlds, I've got quite hard objectives to score. But these are fairly straightforward, which I really like. Also really like the artwork on these cards. I mean, they're so good. Strength of Despair. So we'll speed through some more of these. So we've still got objective cards here. Again, you know, not too difficult to achieve. Got a Gambit spell here. Again, another way to get some more upgrades. Blind Devotion. That's cool. Bond Unbroken. Play this after a friendly minion is taken out of action. Place that minion within 1 hex objective token in your territory. Cool. Again, bringing new stuff back from the dead. So yeah, some nice cards. Try and help you with your movements. I like that, that's cool. Rite of the Unbound. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very cool. Amber Bone Infusion. Increases defense by 2, that's good. Give you attack actions, Cleave and Grievous on your Necromancer. Uh-oh, if you lose your love and you get inspired, go a bit crazy. Get extra wound. An extra wizard level. Not seen a card like that before. These are all obviously upgrades, these ones. Extra damage, it's always good. Spell attack action. Undying Love. Excellent. There's some really cool cards in that deck. I quite like the idea that there's multiple ways of bringing you guys back and gaining upgrades. And the objectives don't seem too hard to achieve as well, which is very, very good. I definitely want to try these out. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Undead anyway. And I'm liking that combo of cards, and the models are really nice as well. So, like I say, at the end of the video, I should have these at least assembled for you to have a look at. But that's not the end of this video, because we've also received the Rimelocked Relics Rivals deck. So we're going to get this opened. I'm going to go through these cards in just a moment. Now, before I go any further, I'm sure last time I got one of these Rivals decks, once you take them out the cardboard, they were just like in a plastic wrapping that, which once you kind of took out, you kind of could keep them loose in that. But these actually come in a little box. Now, I can't remember my last Rivals deck coming with that. I could be wrong. However, I'm glad that they've slipped them in a little box, because there's no way you'd be able to reuse that to keep them safe. So it's cool that you've got them in that little box. But anyway, I want to get this sticker off and we'll check out those cards. Okay, so here we go. The Rimelocked Relics Rivals deck. In the Deathgorge's depths lie blood magic relics encased within ancient ice. That's really cool. I really like how they always open with a bit of background on the deck. So this is usable by any warband. It's a complete deck. Rimelocked Relics. Plot. If you include one or more of these cards in your decks that bear the I'll read that again. If you include one or more cards in your decks that bear the Rimelocked Relics symbol, show this card to your opponent in the Reveal Your Warband step, and use these rules in the game. When you give a Rimelocked upgrade to a friendly fighter, that card is not revealed. Instead, it is placed face down. While that card is face down, it is Rimelocked and has the Thor ability. In the reaction step following an activation... Sorry, I'll say that again. Thor. In the reaction step following an activation step, place a Thor counter on this card. When this card has 3 or more Thor counters, remove each Thor counter on this card and turn this card face up. I'm having difficulty talking today. So that's cool. So when you add like an upgrade, one of these Rimelocked upgrades, you don't get to use it straight away. You have to wait for it to thaw out. Hence the old ancient ice thing going on. So that's very unique. Quite like that. So we've got some objectives cards. Towards the end phase, if one or more enemy fighters are out of action, and 2 or more friendly fighters are in no man's land or enemy territory. Not too bad. Cold Front. Holds more objectives than each other warband. And more enemy fighters and friendly fighters have wound counters. Okay, it's a bit more of a challenge to get. So it's immediately after a friendly fighter's RAM upgrade is turned face up. So that's obviously when you thawed out one of your upgrades. Frostbitten Strike. As soon as you lose an enemy fighter. And your warband holds 1 or more objectives. So a lot of these objectives are 2-parters, making it a little bit more of a challenge. So that's if you've given all your upgrades out. Again, really loving the art in these cards. So again, Jaws first in the end phase, your warband holds 2 or more objectives, and your warband holds each objective in 1 or more territories. So yeah, there's a good example. Those objectives are a little bit harder than the ones that we saw in the Gravebreakers deck, but not impossible. I'm not an Underworlds pro, although I do really want to get into it. I've really got my eye on going to one of these one-day tournaments at Warhammer World. I think I need to get a little bit better at Underworlds before I can do that. Apologies if you can hear that dog. Also Conquest. It's next to our neighbour's pooch. So you're going to have to be really on the ball with your objectives here. Here we go, so moving on to some ploys now. Rolls of considered successes, not critical successes. Okay, interesting. Choose one has one or more face down Rimelocked upgrades and pick one of those cards. So basically breaking it, revealing it early. I like that, it's cool. I hope these upgrades are really good to be worth having to wait for them to activate. Again, apologies for that dog barking. All very ice and snow featured. It's cool. Frozen solid. So you could use that on your opponent, I guess, to lock their upgrades. Stormcast looking very regal there. Domain, that's a keyword I've not seen before. Oh, that's cool. So that's going to, again, thaw out your upgrades quicker. And again, here we go. So we've got the upgrades now. So that's potentially upgrade your armor depending on what warband you're using. It's a cool sword. Frostgale. 4-hex bow. That's nice. Oh, that's cool. It's like a free teleport. Again, that's very nice, removing one of your defense dice from your opponent. Gives you an innate support. Some extra damage. Can be pushed. Inspiring your characters on the Snowblind Cloak. Okay, so they're pretty cool. There was nothing absolutely outstanding from the cards. Just, I mean, obviously this is the first time I've seen them, so I've literally just seen these live for this video. Obviously for the review over on spruesandbrews.com, I'll have had a chance to give them more of a thorough read and pick out some of my favourites. It's quite a cool deck. I really like the mechanic of thawing out those upgrades. The objectives seem a little bit difficult to do. Maybe that's just me, you know, compared to the Gravebreakers deck. But it's a very interesting deck. I think I prefer the one with the warband. But of course, you can use these with any of your warbands for Underworlds. So there might actually be, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's probably a warband that fits quite nicely with these guys. But what I want to do now, now that we've unboxed all this, is have a good flick through of all the cards, get the models built, and then we'll come back at the end of this video to show you those models and some more thoughts. And also, whilst I'm doing that, I'll be chipping away on the review on spruesandbrews.com, which will be live by the time you're watching this. So hopefully in a transitions time, I'll have some models to show you. Now, some time has passed and I've been able to assemble the models from the Gravebreakers. So let's take a look at them. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to paint them. I didn't quite have enough time. Ooh, that's quite glaring there. There will be some better pictures over on spruesandbrews.com. I'll pop the link in the description below. Can't seem to get my light quite right tonight. However, that's one of your zombies. We've got our second zombie here with a nice pickaxe. In fact, I think he's called Pick. Can't remember at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it is. We've then got our third zombie with his little hammer. These guys were like almost just like 2 parts each. They were so easy to assemble. And then we've got the big models, the primary models. We've got our beast here, crawling down the rock. He was a little bit fiddlier to build, but not too bad. There's a few sort of little gaps there that I might have to try and sort out. But he's a really cool model. Looks really menacing as he's crawling down that broken pillar. And then we've got his lady friend, Zondara herself. And she's a very cool model. I can see a lot of people using this model as a necromancer in their Soulblight Gravelords armies, because she's very cool. I think she's cooler than the standard plastic necromancer. Again, really straightforward to build. Just be careful when you're pushing that raven in. I nearly snapped mine trying to push it into the hole on the base, so just be a little bit careful. But yeah, that's them all assembled. I'm looking forward to getting these painted. I mean, I've got the full review, as I say, in the link below. But just a kind of very quick summary. The Gravebreakers, I think, are quite an all-rounders kind of warband. They don't look too difficult to take to the battlefield. They do really rely on these two. A lot of the upgrades, ploys and things are featured, you know, are heavily only usable on these two. Your 3 zombies really are there for support. They can raise each other from the dead. You can kind of throw them forward a little bit more. These two, you kind of want to pick your battles. You don't want to lose them too early. There are cards that you can use, so if you lose one, the other one powers up, which is very in keeping with the relationship they've got going on, which is very cool. The objectives aren't too hard to achieve, although there's not many that score more than 1 glory point, so you've got that to consider. But all around, I like the warband. It kind of fits my playstyle, and I'm really looking forward to having a few games of it. As for the Rimelocked Relics Rivals deck, when I first did the unboxing at the beginning of this video, I wasn't too struck on the deck, especially when I saw the objectives. They seemed quite complicated, as they were all dual objective decks. So to score, you had to sort of achieve 2 objectives on a card, which makes positioning and timing that, more precious. However, going through the cards again, looking closely at the upgrades, deploys, and those objectives, the objectives, there's only a few that score you 1. There's a lot that score 2 and even 3 glory points. So if you can manage to do those dual objectives, you're going to rack up a lot of glory quite quickly. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with those ploys as well, and there's a lot of good upgrades. So it's definitely not a newcomers kind of deck, the Rivals deck, the Rimelocked Relics. However, if you're a more experienced Underworlds player, or you want to play something a little bit different, then it's definitely a deck to try out. It's one that I'm going to try out myself, but not until I've got a few more games of Underworlds under my belt and I've got a bit more experience, because I kind of been dipping in and out, and I really want to try and, as the cool kids might say, get good at Underworlds before I maybe tackle that Relics deck. However, it does look a lot of fun. Our thanks to Games Workshop for sending both of these products to us to unbox and review. I've said it multiple times, I'll say it again. There's a link in the YouTube description to take you straight to our website for the full written review. There will also be some better shots of these models, and there's some shots of the cards, both from the Rivals deck and from the deck in the Gravebreakers. But for now, that brings this video to a close. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon with some more hobby goodness. Bye for now.